Some people have asked me about networking. What is networking? Now, I don't mean going to a networking event, but just networking within Genestar. What does it actually mean? Well, in a nutshell, it's when you've got somebody maybe at distance. So let's say I'm in London and I know somebody in Manchester. And what I want to do is I don't want to travel all the way to Manchester to recruit them, train them, etc. It's too far. Okay, that's not a good use of time traveling. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to connect them with a vice president up in the area they're in. So all I do is I would speak to them. First of all, if you're not a vice president, speak to your vice president, find out who would be the right person in the area you're thinking about. Then what you do is, so let's say, for example, it's Manchester. You would say, okay, Steve, who do you have in Manchester? I'd say we've got this great guy, Roger Davis, as a vice president up there. He's in that whole Liverpool, Manchester kind of area. So then what you do is you speak to your friend, you make the connection, you say, look, there's a guy called Roger who's going to get in touch with you, and he will kind of arrange for you to get to look at what I do and so on. And then, yeah, please give me feedback. Then give the details to me. Give a bit of information about the kind of people they are, maybe hot buttons, likes helping people, needs more money, they're a nurse, whatever it is. And then I can give the information to the vice president, to Roger. He can call them. He can then recruit them hopefully for you. Now, just to be clear what happens there, you get the recruit. So it's your recruiting credit. So if you need 3 recruits, that's one of them to your promotion, for example. But what happens once that person is recruited for you, we don't then do what's called a networking agreement between vice presidents, which means that we give 75% of that person in Manchester to Roger's team. Okay, so he's now in their team. But what's really great is you retain 25% of that person and their whole business. So if they go and build and build and build, you have a 25% stake in that entire business. Every £1,000 of premium that's done, you'll see 250 show up for your team on the leaderboard. So, and again, every recruit, you may notice on the leaderboard, you see, people have got 13.25 recruits. Well, the 0.25s are because of networking agreements, okay? So it just means you can build at distance without actually traveling. Now, the only exception to that really, and this is a real exception, is if you have somebody that is a real connector, somebody that you know can get 30, 40 people in a room. They're serious people that can go on and become senior vice presidents very quickly. Maybe they already have just a massive network or huge influence. They're gonna work. And don't be confused with connectors that aren't really gonna do anything, because you get a lot of people that know lots of people, but they don't really wanna do any work. When you're going into an area, you want someone who's gonna be able to take the lead on things and pioneer it, So that's just a little clue and an insight into networking. Okay, hopefully that kind of helps.